Welcome back to the Bad Influence Podcast, Fired Up Friday, where we show you how to take control of your life without the bullshit. I'm the bad influence that you need in your life. Yours truly, Bjordan Banderas. Listen up. Without suffering, you wouldn't be half the badass you are today. Every scar, every nightmare, every gut-wrenching moment shaped that unbreakable force inside you. And it's time to own every bit of it and feel the power that comes from it. Because here's the thing. Society keeps telling you to dodge pain like it's the plague. But guess what? Pain is the catalyst for transformation. If you run from it, you run from your own growth. So let's flip that script today and turn suffering into your superpower. Because pain isn't a punishment, it's a crucible. I have learned this throughout my life, and it's one of the things that has helped me get through the pain. Because in that heat, your old limitations melt away, revealing hidden strengths. I know, it's messy and brutal, but it's also the quickest way to become your strongest self, showing you the light at the end of the tunnel. So ask yourself right now, why am I so afraid of discomfort? Let that question sink in at your subconscious, forcing you to see that everything you've overcome made you who you are. Embrace that truth, and your fear of pain starts to crumble. Another problem that I have noticed or I have observed is that we live in a world addicted to comfort and convenience. People avoid the slightest struggle, never realizing that easy living creates shallow resilience. Avoiding pain is like avoiding a workout for your mind. It keeps you weak. I've had to deal with pain in my life. My life shattered when my wife got sick. I felt powerless, like I was drowning in stress and fear. Yet, in that darkness, I discovered a spark of resilience. That spark grew into the fiercest fire I've ever known. And in the midst of chaos, you either surrender or fight. I chose to fight. Day by day, I realized that my suffering wasn't the end. It was the beginning of a new, tougher, more determined me. After surviving what I thought was the worst, every other challenge felt smaller. I was like, come on, life, hit me with the best. Hit me with whatever you got. Come on. I can take it. Each new struggle was just another test. One that I was ready to ace because I'd already survived my darkest hours. The reason why I share this is because I want you to understand this. You must stop running from pain. Instead, ask, what's this pain teaching me? Reframe suffering as education. That mindset turnaround morphs you from victim to student, from powerless to unstoppable. Scars are not shameful. They're badges of honor. Each scar carries a story of survival, of learning, of becoming. So don't hide them. Wear them like medals that prove how far you've come. And when life breaks you, because unfortunately sometimes it does, it also cracks you open to transformation. This is called post-traumatic growth. It's the idea that adversity can be the catalyst for your greatest evolution. Call it baptism by fire, whatever you want to call it. Adversity can be the launching pad for your greatest evolution. People who dodge suffering with distractions TV binges, mindless social media, stay stuck. And you can see it. They complain about their lives, they just go on complaining, but they don't do anything to change. And that unaddressed pain metastasizes into anxiety, depression, or soul numbing complacency. A seed that never faces the pressure of breaking soil never becomes a mighty tree. The same logic applies to humans. Without friction, without hardship, you remain soft, underdeveloped, half alive. Shoving pain aside doesn't erase it, it buries it. Unresolved suffering festers like an infection, sabotaging your relationships, your motivation, and your mental health. So face it now, or it will haunt you later. Denial is the first roadblock to growth. Look your pain square in the eye. Stop pretending everything is fine if it isn't. Own it, name it, and prepare to transform it. Instead of why me, ask, try me. Pain is no longer your enemy. It's the key to unlocking hidden reserves of strength. This simple mental flip changes your entire outlook. Reflect on what this pain is teaching you about endurance, empathy, self-love, or even adaptability. Dig out that lesson and make it yours. That's how you weaponize adversity. A few minutes of focused breathing or guided meditation helps you observe pain without drowning in it. Think of it like mental training. Every session builds emotional muscle. Pour your struggle into writing or into a painting or whatever you need to do. By naming and shaping your suffering, you bring it under your control. It stops being a nameless monster lurking in your subconscious. Channel your frustration into purpose. Lost a job? Start a side hustle. Heartbroken? Focus on personal development. Turn your wound into the blueprint for your next triumph. List every adversity you've ever beaten. Read that list when life threatens to knock you down again. Let your own history remind you how formidable you truly are. Your scars make you relatable. They let you connect with others who've suffered too, forming bonds of trust and authenticity. Pain fosters genuine empathy in a world starving for realness. See yourself as a warrior, each scar a stripe on your uniform. You've battled heartbreak, loss, defeat, and you survive. Step into every new challenge knowing you're armed to the teeth with grit. Look, I went from someone shattered by my wife's illness to someone who realized the heartbreak was the training ground for resilience. If I can harness my pain, so can you. A friend of mine once lost their job and sank into despair. Instead of quitting, they launched a dream business. Their pain became the rocket fuel for success. And 6 months later, they're doing better than ever. They don't have to work for someone else. They are their own boss. So remember this. When we trade war stories, we discover we're not alone. Suffering unites us. It's the common thread in our human tapestry. Use that knowledge to inspire each other and grow together. Opening up about your pain is scary, I know. But guess what? Vulnerability is the doorway to courage. The moment you own your scars, they lose the power to define you. When you're in the thick of it, you'll want to give up. Don't. You've survived 100% of your worst days so far. One more day, one more push, that's all it takes to inch closer to victory. Pain can feel lonely, but you are never truly alone. Reach out. Find a tribe of warriors who also use suffering as strength. Community support can be the lifeline that keeps you from drowning. Every new struggle you face becomes an opportunity to test and refine the resilience you've built. And in time, you'll see pain not as a roadblock, but as a stepping stone to even greater power. So, starting today, right now, after you're done listening to this podcast, cut the excuses. You don't need them. Stop blaming the universe or your past. It's time to move forward. Life isn't fair, so what? Use that fuel to spark your tenacity. You're stronger than you think, and it's time to prove it. Tonight. Do this tonight. Write down the hardest thing you've ever endured. Next to it, note the lesson it taught you. Commit to using that lesson to tackle a current challenge. Then do it. No waiting, no whining. Embracing your suffering isn't masochism. It's mastery. Your scars are not defects. They're statements to your unyielding spirit. Seize that mindset shift and watch the world bend under your newfound power. You are living proof that pain is transformative, not terminal. So own it. Let it define your strength, not your weakness. Every nightmare made you braver. Every scar gave you wisdom. If you're still waiting for permission to unleash the badass inside you, here it is. Suffering forged you. Now it's time to roar. Embrace every ounce of your past and let it catapult you into an unstoppable future. Because when you do this, you're going to see life from a different perspective. And you're going to think, I am bigger, bolder, stronger, faster, smarter than I thought. And no matter what gets in front of you, you're going to be able to overcome it. You're going to be able to go through it. And you're going to reach the goalpost. You're going to get through every single challenge that life throws at you because you know how strong you are. And that's because you embrace that pain. You understand where that pain comes from. And because you understand that, you're able to channel it into a fire that gives you the energy, that gives you the strength, that gives you the fucking resilience to achieve your vision. And that's it for today. Share this episode with someone knee deep in hardship, someone who needs to hear that suffering is not the end, it's the catalyst. Let's build an army of people who harness pain instead of hiding from it. The choice is yours.